much of a good thing. Summer's here, it never goes away. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Too much of a good thing. Taking in the countenance of every stranger.
So I arrived here in 1984, actually running away from the Sandinista regime in Nicaragua that had been in power already for about 6 years over there. I was a member of the Transcendental Meditation movement in Nicaragua, and that created problems for me with the Sandinista regime. They started harassing me and over the phone and threatening me with death.
All right, so why are you in support of Donald Trump?
Okay, let me begin by saying that I voted for Obama. Now, of course, I'm an American citizen, and I voted for Obama, okay? Because I define myself as a secular humanist with a slight tendency to the left, okay? Now, and I was on board with Obama for a long time, until the Islam thing started becoming notorious. Then I learned something about Islam. I went in my own investigation, and I came to the conclusion that the policies of the West, not only Obama, are totally absurd about it. Completely absurd, because in essence, Islam is just not what it claims to be in the media. Then the only voice, and I may say that at this point I may say that I'm a single issue voter from now on, supporting Donald Trump, because he is the only president and actually the only major world leader that is making any sense about this. Okay, so and he's the first one that dared to even mention the problem by its name.
Okay, so moving on, what are some of the issues other than that
that's one thing.
Okay.
Now, other things are his position on immigration. Look, essentially, every president of the United States before Trump in the last 40 years has been keenly aware of the acute problem of immigration. And presidents from both parties, Republicans and Democrats, have essentially said the same thing. That immigration needs to be contained, okay? And there has to be, of course, respect from a humanitarian point of view, but nevertheless, immigration needs to be curbed. Illegal, massive immigration needs to be curbed. This is the same for Trump, for Obama, for Clinton, for Bush.
Okay, immigration and Islam, what's a third or fourth one other than those two?
Okay, so
are there any others?
The economy.
How is he serving your interests in how he has behaved thus far in regard to the economy?
Here's an ideological point of view, which is basic. This is very fundamental difference. It's the fundamental difference between Republicans and Democrats. Okay, Democrats push for a more collectivist oriented kind of government, whereas the Republicans push for a more individual center system of government with more individual freedoms, and the essential part of it is the freedom of enterprise. Okay, so I strongly believe, from a Darwinistic point of view, which I have other philosophical positions about, in general, about biology and even about galaxies, okay, The Darwinistic explanation of politics and the economy is a much better explanation and much better model than the flattened out, making everybody equal kind of utopia. So, main ideological point is to liberate, to free the forces of markets and corporations and the individual enterprise as the engines of growth and production and creativity, which is not possible, in my view, under a system that is controlled by the state in a way that regulations are imposed at all levels, and it's essentially a huge bureaucracy that's really what hinders the development of the economy. So I believe that with a leaner government, it's the production forces and the creativity of individuals and companies is really develops at its best.
Okay, so how do you think the free market system will serve everyone other than just those at the top? How do you think the free market system has mechanisms to support the people that are at the bottom of the economic system?
That's a great question, because it's one of the main talking points that people that are against the free market system argue. Sure. The free market system, like I said before, sets free the forces of creativity and productivity because it's based on competition. Companies and businesses are in a rat race for money. The forces of free market have nothing to do with concern for the well-being of the poor.
But shouldn't there be? Do you think that the free market system is the ultimate expression of the best possible economic system, or are you just saying that it's just here and we have to deal with it?
Both ways, but the answer to your question is yes. And it's a paradox, actually, that it ends up benefiting the poor more than other systems that are more controlled.
How do you see this expressing itself in what evidence do you see that the poor are helped by the free market system?
Like I said, by increasing productivity and making the economy stronger. Making the economy stronger means that there are more jobs available and people find employment. If that weren't true, then why are we getting all this influx of people coming from all over the world trying to get a job over here, where the forces of free market are in its most free expression, okay? For lack of another word.
Ba 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 ba